As highlighted by the EU guidelines on food donation, the primary focus of food waste prevention should be to act at the source by limiting the generation of surplus food at each stage in the food supply chain. When food surpluses occur, the best destination, which ensures the highest value use of edible food resources, is to redistribute these for human consumption. Starting from this assumption, the European Food Banks Federation and its members are constantly looking for the best solutions to recover and redistribute surplus food to charitable organisations helping people in need, ensuring hygiene and food safety, protecting the liability of all the players involved, and protecting the final consumer. Nowadays, urban contexts are at the centre of people's lives and consumption. This is where there are available quantities of surplus food, as well as a high density of deprived people. A crucial component of future-ready cities is a resilient and sustainable food system to drive the transition from a linear to a circular economy, and not just prevent food waste, but also safely provide nutritious food for its inhabitants. In this respect, the Siticibo program of Banco Alimentare is a virtuous example dealing with the recovery and redistribution of surplus food from the distribution sector and cooked meals from the catering sector in the urban context. Siticibo is a program created by Fondazione Banco Alimentare Onlus in 2003. Surplus food is daily recovered by local food banks or by affiliated charitable organizations, and then it is redistributed to people in need. Siticibo is an example of micro-logistics, not involving a centralized warehouse and focusing on urban areas. Siticibo volunteers recover surplus cooked meals from the catering sector. How does it work? Food prepared the previous day and not served to corporate employees is blast chilled at the end of the service using a blast chiller and is kept at a constant temperature, 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, until volunteers arrive the next day. Where is the cooked surplus food stored? The kitchen staff stores the cooked surplus food inside closed and labeled food containers. What information must be included on the containers? The canteen staff applies a label on the lid of the containers, specifying the type of food, the date of production, and the number of portions. A container is used for each type of product, e.g., first course, second course, side dishes. What are volunteers' responsibilities? In accordance with the days and times agreed with the canteen staff, the Siticibo volunteers arrive with suitable and clean clothing, as well as wearing gloves. They measure the temperature of the food, 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, by sampling with a sanitized thermometer to ensure that the cold chain is maintained. How are recovered cooked meals tracked? Volunteers fill in the survey form indicating the number of portions, type of products, and temperature. Finally, volunteers sign and stamp the form. How are recovered cooked meals transported? Food containers are stored in thermoboxes and transported in a refrigerated van. The non-refrigerated van can also work if thermoboxes are filled with ice boxes. The transport cannot exceed 60 minutes so that the cold chain is maintained. How are recovered cooked meals managed by charitable organizations? Once the volunteers reach the destination, the staff of the charitable organization checks the content of the thermoboxes, places the containers back in the cold store, and distributes them as soon as possible. What about ingredients and allergens? Each time the catering company changes the menu, a new list of ingredients, including allergens, is requested and made available to the beneficiaries. How do you ensure hygiene and food safety? Vehicles and equipment used for transporting food must be sanitized at the end of each transport operation. How to get started? 1. Assessing the regulatory framework. 2. Making a feasibility study, analyzing food demand and offer in a specific area. 3. Mapping and identifying all the involved players. 4. Testing efficiency and feasibility of the recovering model in a restricted area. 5. Measuring and monitoring the activity. What are the challenges? Ensuring food safety and consumer protection, setting a new agile organisational model and implementing sustainable logistics, training volunteers as well as charitable organisations, and overcoming potential doubts and resistance to change of the donors. And what are the strengths? Being closer to charitable organisations and so to people in need. Recovering and redistributing food from canteens within the same day. Guaranteeing food safety by maintaining the cold chain up to the delivery. Providing charitable organisations with a wider mix of products to support a healthy and nutritious diet. Raising awareness on food banks' activities in the urban context. Being a leverage for brand awareness thanks to the action of the volunteers involved in the programme.